Start broadcast. Here we go.
Welcome INFINii family. My name is John Kinnear. We certainly do appreciate you taking the time to join us, especially this close to the holiday season. We're certainly excited to have you here, and I'm seeing representation from literally all four corners of the planet on this presentation tonight. We'll also be recording this presentation so that friends and family members that part of your INFINii business that are previously engaged with Christmas activities will still have an opportunity to get all of these updates. So with that, I'd like to just quickly go over some of the things that we're going to be discussing in this presentation. We want to make sure that you get some updates in a number of different areas. And a few of those include the results that our members are already having at this early stage of the game with their e-commerce activities. We're also going to introduce you just briefly to a concept called Masterclass that has been purposely designed to take all of you through this process towards creating the same types of results that you hear many of our members have been creating now for a couple of years, to well and truly have the opportunity to develop a skill set that's going to pay you from the time you invest in your e-commerce activities for the balance of your life if you so choose. We're also going to give you a Springboard products update. I've had an opportunity to have a look at the spreadsheets, the very vast spreadsheets of Springboard offerings. So I think that will certainly excite you, because I know that you've been waiting some time now for that news. Hitesh is also going to walk through some new back office developments in preparation for you to understand and receive access to our new back office platform. And then we're also going to talk about pending commissions and how it relates to a cash-based model that we have developed for many of the developing countries that are also going to become or already part of the INFINii family. So what I'd like to do now is dive right into things and pass on this time to our fearless leader, our CEO and our CTO, Hitesh Junja. Hitesh, you're with us?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Welcome. We can hear you loud and clear.
All right, beautiful. Guys, I want to do a quick sound and visual check. If you can hear me speaking right now, and if you can see the screen, please say, I can hear you. Do not say yes. Okay, see, immediately a lot of people said yes. I'm sorry, that was a trick question. All right, that's awesome. So everybody can hear. You should be seeing a screen right now that says INFINii updates, and it essentially lists what we're going to go over tonight. We're going to try and keep it very short and to the point. In part, we don't have to go into a very long sophistry about how great we are, because quite honestly, our members prove it instead of us having to talk about it. So we're going to start out with that. I do want to thank John very quickly. As you know, John brings vast experience, especially in the network marketing space. He's been a multiple seven-figure a year earner in other companies before this. He's an extremely grounded person. He's actually worked a lot with international spaces as well. And one of his core skill sets that he brings to us is designing INFINii in a way that really works well for our international users. So what I'm going to try and do is maybe veer away a little bit from the PowerPoint. I'm actually going to show you the raw goodness of what's in here, and let's just go through it quick, okay? So I would like to begin with our members' results, and we'll go from there. And what you'll find is that these are not pretty results that have been sent in with nice images taken and a pre-discussion about what the testimonial should say and so on. These are actual unsolicited results from our members who are just applying the INFINii platform on the e-commerce side. I'm also not going to show you any results from our partners, for one, because we haven't run the commissions yet. That will happen on the third here. You'll all see it in your approved balances at that point. But more importantly, the key aspect behind INFINii has always been the ability for you to generate an income without recruitment as an average user. And that allows for our partners who are actually skilled in recruiting or building teams, it allows them to actually offer something real and legitimate to our average user, which is a far cry from what happens in most companies out there and most systems out there. Not knocking on them, it's just the facts, right? I'm not putting them down. I'm not anti them, but I'm just clarifying that that's what our unique aspect is, what the unique concept behind INFINii is, what the unique concept has been for over 2 years, And when we first envisioned this, when we first came up with this, that was one of the key aspects behind it. I was actually approached to join many different MLMs, and I always said no on the simple basis, and someday we will have that discussion, that the average person cannot succeed in most because you require recruitment. And here you can actually make money without it. So actually, we have so many testimonials that there is no way for me to run through all of them. So I'm going to go through them fairly quickly. And a lot of these, this is actually a person who's just doing this, scanning product, going shopping and making money while shopping using Amazon. So for those of you who have access to the Amazon Seller app, you can actually go to your local stores and start selling stuff directly. If you're confused about it or you're kind of amazed and shocked about it, that unfortunately shows that you haven't gone through the training yet. Go to your back office, go to Prime training, and go through the paid shopping training specifically. Okay, so you have a ton of people having tremendous results. Here is one couple who has brought in $17,000 in the last 6 weeks. You have people just making incredible sales and getting incredible results almost on a daily basis. And I shouldn't even say almost. They're literally getting it on a daily basis. Um, so I'm getting notifications that we have gone well over capacity, which is what happens on pretty much every platform that we try to do a call on. So anyways, moving on, I'm just going to run through them very quickly because we could keep going and spend the whole night on this. And I know that none of us have the whole night and there are even more cool things to get to. So a lot of people are literally just going in, they're using the training and they're using the advanced listing creator and they are making a ton of sales. Here's actually a really great screenshot because here's a person who's actually using our Bonanza training, which is awesome for international members because you don't have any of the hurdles and any of the obstacles as an international person to sell as you would with Amazon and eBay. So you can actually go ahead and do that as an international person very quickly and easily. So
one of the things that I really like about these, by the way, Hitesh, is that many of these, and we've seen these start to arrive, many of these are December results. These are people that have never done any of this ever before. Now, obviously, there are other individuals that have a bit of a history and have some runs on the board already, but I'm especially interested in those individuals that have just gone through the INFINii videos, are implementing them, and creating results immediately. It's very exciting.
Completely agree, and that is really what it is. There is one really cool testimonial in here to follow through, and I did again kind of skip through it because I don't want to highlight one particular thing and give people a false impression. But we had a person who started up, and within their first day, they had generated I think something like $400. We had another one in their first day had made about $60, and on the second day made another $100, and so on and so forth. And this might sound like small money, That's the other reality behind this. Most of the companies out there, most of the people out there, when they talk about major companies, or when they talk about results, they'll always highlight the top 0.001% of their members who are making incredible money. By the way, they're all making money through recruitment, which is fine. But that's pretty much it, right? That's kind of sad in a way because I think what's more important than making sure that your 0.001% are making a tremendous amount of money, what's more important is to show that your average member is making something livable, maybe not livable, at least profitable. And I think that's what really sets us apart. The focus is on making sure that our average customer, by and large, is profitable, right? So anyways, that's great. That's fun. Let's move on though, because there are a lot of other things that we want to update on. Really, let me ask a quick question. And again, a question that no MLM company will usually ask on a call with thousands of people on there. If you have made money in INFINii doing this e-commerce stuff, okay, doing the e-commerce stuff specifically in the last 15 days, if you can just say yes, or just say, yes, I have made money on the e-commerce side alone, that would be awesome. Because I really like to show this off to John and many other people. It was incredible. So, and I'm going to do this in a very real way. What we're going to do is take a live screenshot of this. Okay, so you can see this is happening live. And here's a live screenshot. And it's not been edited at all. I'm sure we'll find somebody saying no in here. But here you have people, first Bonanza sale with INFINii, over $4,000, and so on and so forth. And so, okay, it's incredible. Again, most companies would never even dare ask a question like this on a call. And that's what makes us so so excited about bringing this to our members. Okay, this is more about what we can do with you. It's so different. It's not about, oh, look at what we have built. It's more about, look at what's happening in the community out there because of this. Over the past 2 years, we know that about 6,000 people have replaced their full-time incomes doing this. Okay, 6,000 people. I mean, that's almost as many jobs as I know 10 of Donald Trump's hotels take to build. So it's pretty cool to see this kind of real economic impact out there. Anyways, there are two things that we realize about it, though, that we really need to do more of. One is, how do we take somebody who's in a slightly unique situation, maybe somebody who doesn't quite understand the training videos, maybe somebody who is overseas, maybe somebody who has tried this before and hasn't had success, or has very limited budget, has very limited time, all of these different things. How do we help them a little bit more? How can we do something a little bit more for them? And that's where the masterclass concept comes in. Okay, the way the masterclass works is that we have our very advanced trainers who have done this really, really well, and they have taught many people how to do this as well. And what we are doing is setting up real-time live training that's basically set up like a course. So you go through very specific goal-oriented courses, which you finish up in about 2 weeks or less. Okay, the idea is for you to finish up every single lesson in 2 weeks or less, that you should be able to be an expert in all aspects of e-commerce in a fairly short period of time. Okay, these are very goal-oriented, very focused classes, and they'll help you hit your goals very, very quickly and help get results very, very quickly. And the fun part is that as you finish these classes, they also prep you for your upcoming exam, which is your e-commerce expert certification exam, if you are so interested in that. Once you take that exam, you now get an e-commerce expert certification from us, which allows you to then work with other INFINii members and other e-commerce service people in general, and also gives you a huge leg up when we come out with our pretty fantastic e-commerce freelancing system. Okay, so it's an incredible thing. We'll be starting this off in January of 2016. We will give you specific details when we get to that point. But just keep in mind that if you are going through the videos right now and you're going, I need a little bit more help, or I don't understand this one thing and so on, send us your feedback. We'll already take care of that whenever we can. We address that in our videos and we update our videos all the time. But more so than that, we will also make sure that you get specific help and are taken through these live training sessions with our team. Okay, so it'll be really, really awesome. We have been doing kind of a beta version of this with a group of members already, especially international members, because we really want to get them to success. So that's one of the goals here. Okay, now let's talk very quickly about the Springboard products. So far, we have actually put out somewhere around 6,000 to 7,000 units, all of them sold out within a matter of a few minutes. There is a whole category of Springboard products called third-party products, which we haven't really made live to everybody yet. You can see there are thousands of products in this category. You can see they're dirt cheap for what they are. We negotiate very special deals for you guys, and you're able to purchase these in small quantities instead of bulk quantities. As you can see, some of these require hundreds of units to be ordered in one go, but you're able to do that through our system in a very nice way. So you can see we have literally thousands of products. You can select your price range that you're interested in and product quantity that you're interested in. You can do all of that fun stuff. The reason why we've been very careful about putting this out there is currently the mindset that for a lot of our members is as soon as products are shown in the Springboard, they immediately go and purchase them, which is fine if you're doing that with our pre-selected products, because those are the products that our experts have selected. We have already done all of that on there. With the third-party products, you have to do a little bit of not due diligence, but you have to figure out what will be my profit margin on this, because you have a little bit more flexibility in what will be your pricing and what's the demand out there and so on. So you're going to find a new training video that walks you through how to use these appropriately. If you have gone through the training in Prime or Excel about selling on Amazon, then you pretty much already know all that you need to know. So I want to encourage you guys to go through that training tonight if you haven't yet, because these products will be put up on there, and we want to make sure that everybody has a good handle on what you should be doing with this. And this is literally one segment. We actually have there's 4 times this in terms of products that are already available. There are a lot more coming. It's just ridiculous what the costs are on the stuff for our members. So that's basically the update on there. You guys will be pretty excited. And then we have one more category, just like we have the FBA products and we have third-party products. we have one more category of products that will also be coming out in Springboard in January, and you guys will be pretty excited about that one as well. So
It's also important.
go ahead, John.
It's also important to note, Hitesh, that obviously these are low cost products that you'll be able to generate great margins on, but that does not mean they're replacing any of those higher ticket items that some of you are going to be looking for as well. Of course, those items will continue to be loaded into the Springboard as well.
Yeah, exactly. So again, Springboard is so simple. Just keep in mind there are three very distinct business models within INFINii, and we really like to make sure that everybody understands that there are different business models in here. If you have very low um, cash flow right now, if you have limited time and you have limited amount of money, and you're very new to the e-commerce thing, what you should be doing is going through Prime training. If you have Surge or Excel, you should go through those trainings as well. But really start at Prime, go through there, because Prime really focuses on the idea of making money without massive upfront costs. Okay, once you are doing that, or once you have a stream of income coming in, then you really should focus a lot more on the Springboard side, where you now have products that you can purchase. It's an upfront cost, and then when the product sells, that's when you make money on it. So you have two very distinct business models. They are both great business models. They are both low risk, wonderful business models. They're real, grounded in reality. So you should be considering both of them, but just understand they're separate. Okay, they're two very different things. Now the next thing is the back office. So you guys all know, we came out into this pre-launch thing. We've been very careful. We haven't turned on replicated websites. We haven't turned on a lot of the stuff because we are a lot more about stability and making sure the core system is working. Okay. Now, first of all, have you guys ever been part of a company where 2 weeks in you have actual customers making money and doing really well with it? You probably haven't. Okay. If you have, please let me know. I would like to test it out. But by and large, you probably haven't. In our case, you have that happening right now. You already have that happening, yet we know what the potential is. If we are going to build a multi-billion-dollar enterprise here, which is what we're planning to do, we have to release things in order, right? One by one. So the next step is, as we come out of the pre-launch and go into a real launch, we then have to make sure that we are also providing the right kind of back office to our members and so on and so forth. So now that we're coming out of the pre-launch, we'll be releasing the real back office instead of the okay one, to put it mildly. We'll be putting out the real back office, which will give you a lot more ability, a lot more power on what's going on, and also a lot more clarity on what's going on. So I'm just going to demo this for you guys very quickly. This basically keeps a track of your, as you can see right here, this is showing you your partner revenue, your e-commerce revenue, your digital revenue, and freelancing revenue, all in a single chart. You can see what days are doing really well for you, what days it's dipping down a little bit. You can look at it on a weekly and a monthly basis. You can keep up with all the announcements that are coming out, all in this one simple little panel. On this dashboard, you can see what your rank is, what your current levels are, all that good stuff is right here. By the way, one of the things that we get a lot, maybe not a lot, but given the number of members we have, one of the things that we get requests for is a lot of people say, hey, I'm incredible. I mean, this is real. I've actually seen the request. I'm colorblind. Can you change something on there? We had somebody say, I'm epileptic. Can you change colors on there and stuff like that? So you actually have the ability to actually switch out the colors of the site to whatever you like. You can change out the entire display if you want to. You can change that. So all that fun stuff is in here as well. Those are just little bonuses for you guys. Also, you will notice that it flows a lot better, and you will see the training and the navigation and the clarity of everything is just a lot better. So we'll be releasing this as we come out of the pre-launch and move into the actual real impactful stuff out there. You will see marketing videos coming out, marketing material coming out, and a lot of other goodness coming out at the same time. So we are spending a lot of hours in the background working very hard to make sure that the user experience, when we have this really out there and running for hundreds of thousands of people, that's very strong. By the way, we have been out for about 3 weeks and we hit like 40,000 member mark already. Okay, we are growing extremely fast and it's not slowing down. Actually, it's been very consistent almost all the way through. So you have, to summarize the results so far, you have members doing extremely well. You have more Springboard products coming out. You have more updated trainings coming out. You have live trainings that are more handheld trainings to help you guys out, to prepare you for your e-commerce certification at the same time. You have a lot more stuff coming out that's very specifically focused on our international members to help them see success. And despite all of those things, we're not saying, all right, our job here is done. Let's sit back and relax. We're saying, how can we make this even better? We're going to release the new back office. We're going to release even more products. We have a lot of other good stuff coming for you as well. Okay. And the final point is, what's going on with the pending commissions? What's this cash-based model that we're talking about? So one of the interesting things that has happened is we've always done very well. We've always had a big reach on the e-commerce side in the US and Canada. And now we are noticing a tremendous expansion in the rest of the world. Okay, the rest of the world is waking up to the fact that there is something real here. So as we release into multiple other countries, you come across a lot of economies that are largely cash-based. These economies there are a lot of members who say, I really want to do e-commerce, but I don't have a credit card. How do I do this? I can get a PayPal account. I can get my account set up online. I can do all of these things and I'll work really hard for it, but I don't have a credit card to sign up. How do I go about it? So the solution that we came up with for all of those members was put them on a cash-based model, give them the ability to actually pay locally with cash, and that still allows them to participate in our e-commerce platform. It allows them to participate in our partner rewards plan, which is the strongest rewards plan that exists in the network marketing space. And it basically gives them the same level of access that they haven't been able to receive thus far in almost any other category, in any other company, and so on. So we are actually also including these cash-based transactions in the pending commission calculations that we're doing at the moment. And we had a little glitch way back when we first began. We had a glitch for 2 days where we had some issues with billing, and we've already addressed that way back then. But we're also cleaning that out as we done the pending commissions calculations. Again, it does not affect when you actually receive the approved commissions. You don't need to worry about that. It will still show up in your approved commissions at the same time that it would have, regardless of when the commissions run finishes this very first time. And then after this, it's always going to be in real time and run overnight, because it's the very first time that you have to be so cautious. So let's summarize very quickly what we have at the moment and what's coming shortly, especially in the international spaces. So we right now have the ability for you to contact us via support ticket system, which, by the way, we have done an incredible job on. I really want to give a shout out to our support desk team, especially headed up by Tracy. They've done an incredibly good job. We are almost all caught up, and we are actually getting down to now completing. We're getting back to people in less than 24 hours. Our aim is to get it down to even less than that. We have phone support available if you have a billing issue, if you don't recognize a charge, or if you're trying to figure out what happened, or you want to upgrade your level or anything like that. You can call into the billing support. We have a number available on the website, and we also have a leadership support number available. If you are somebody who is building a large team, if you're a partner who is building a big team, or you're part of a big team, you really want to expand, you really have questions about, can I go and build in Brazil, for example, and things like that, you will actually be able to work directly with our leadership support team, who can keep you up to date and help you and help your team. Maybe run some calls with your team and so on and so forth, and also provide support in other languages. For example, we have a person who can provide dedicated support to all Russian teams that are coming in. Starting the first quarter of 2016, we will be adding in additional phone support for all regular questions and issues as well, live chat support, multiple languages support, and so on and so forth. So you can see all the translations that we are starting to work on now. We expect that all to be out in the first quarter of 2016, just as we come out of the gate, come out of the pre-launch and all this beta stuff as we roll out of there. Now, I just want to take one more moment to recap what has happened in the past 2.5, 3 weeks. Okay, in the past 3 weeks or so, we have rolled out the only concept where you can make money without recruitment, which is very exciting for everybody, not just the average member. It's very exciting for the partner, because they now know and they feel there's a sense of, I now know that when I bring somebody in, they have a real potential at being successful, with or without recruiting, right? There's a real potential there. I'm not going to see 99% of my team fail again. That's one of the biggest things that's attracting people in here. And you can actually see a lot of the members who are coming over, a lot of the big teams that are coming over, some of them are coming over saying, I have a massive income, but I don't have fulfillment, right? They have a big team they've built in other companies, which is great. They're good companies. They've built a big thing, but they look at this and go, but I know that 90% of my team won't be failing at making money now. And that's why they're coming over. So there's a great depth of character in a lot of the people coming in. And sometimes that gets lost because, people are very quick to point fingers and say, oh, everybody in here is just trying to do something horrible. In reality, many of these people are giving up on very big incomes in some cases because of the fulfillment and the character that they have and the realization that their members will actually make money here. With that said, we have come out of the gate with possibly one of the largest commission run on the first try. It's going to be over seven figures, this very first commission run that happens. We have tens of thousands of members already. This is, by the way, historically one of the worst months for network marketing companies because everybody's focused on Christmas shopping and stuff. And that's why we wanted to come out in this month, because we know that our members would benefit from that Christmas shopping. So they've done extremely well. It's just completely blown away all of the expectations that pretty much anybody who was observing us had. Tens of thousands of members, hundreds, thousands of success stories coming in just on this call alone. I bet just on this call alone at the moment, forget bet, I can prove that 30, maybe 40% of people on this call right now have already been making money using the e-commerce platform. Okay. What that means, do you realize 30 to 40% is about 300 times what happens in the average company? It's incredible. It's very fulfilling. And that's what fuels us to stay up all through the night, to work all through the night, to keep developing these things and to keep putting out these things. And finally,
Sorry, I'll wait till you finish the last point.
Go ahead. You broke my flow already. Just
No,
run
please.
with it. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Listen, when you're finished, I just wanted to recap and talk to that one point that you're making in regards to all the e-commerce success that we're having.
Please go ahead.
Would you like
Make
me
the
to do
point
that
right
now?
now. Yes, yes, go for it.
Okay. So, listen, I wanted to just speak to everyone just for a moment and share just a little bit about the day that I had today. I was on with some teams in Russia. I was on with some teams that were doing live presentations in Indonesia this morning. I was on with some leaders in Malaysia, and we were talking about some growth that was happening in South America. And I realize for many of you, you hear these tremendous stories and you see this success, and some of this still sounds like a foreign language to you. It still sounds completely alien. And it really is for those of you who have a desire to create an additional income source through the channels that we're creating with e-commerce, but really feel a little bit overwhelmed. And this masterclass program really is going to be designed for you. So you'll start to see some things roll out in January that, if you're still feeling this all sounds great, but I'm just not getting it, please don't worry. We really do have the intention of rolling these series out with you in mind. And if you enroll in these classes and you actually participate in all of them, you're going to find yourself accomplishing things that maybe you never thought you could accomplish before. So rest assured, we're working very, very hard to roll these platforms out in multiple languages, and simultaneously, as these are able to be taught in multiple languages, you'll also start to see subtitles of all those training videos in multiple languages as well. So when your class is finished, you can go back to the video and you can pause it and you can work your way through the process until you're comfortable. So just keep that in mind. Maybe if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, don't worry. We have your back, and we're going to make sure that this is something that you can do and be successful at.
Yep, beautiful. And I do want to address the master classes do not cost you anything extra. They're built into Prime, Surge, and Excel. Depending on whichever level you're on, you're going to get the master classes related to that. But I do want to make like almost what John said is absolutely true, but I do want to make almost a slightly opposite point as well. Imagine that I said to you right now that in your backyard is buried the world's largest diamond. It would not take you a lot of time. Okay, many of you would figure out You might not know anything about topography and anything about detecting things in the ground and getting and how to dig appropriately without destroying everything and whatnot. But you will make an effort to learn very quickly. And I'm going to give you my example, okay? So I understand, especially for international members, hopefully you can unfortunately tell from my accent that I did not grow up in the US. I wasn't born in the US. I didn't grow up in the US. Um, and I didn't grow up very wealthy either. Okay, and I'll leave that beside the point. I think too many people are too eager to play. My childhood was so horrible. Mine wasn't. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with what I had. My parents were wonderful. But my point is, every time that I come across something that I see can be potentially profitable, can be something I can build something off of, I make an effort to actually learn it. If I don't get it the first time, then I will go through it again. If I don't get it the second time, then I will find a second resource that can help me. That's why we give you the written PDFs, and we also give you access to this help desk. That's why you can go in the forums and ask questions about the training. That's specifically what the forums are for. I do want to really make this one point as well. As much as I agree with John and as much as we are clearly making an effort to make this more accessible and easier for everybody, at the end of the day, I really expect certain level of effort from everyone. At the end of the day, the choice and the decision and the one who's going to make the change happen in your life is going to be you. Okay, so I really want to say, if you don't understand it, and I see some comments saying, well, I don't understand the e-commerce stuff yet, then go back and try again. Go back and watch the videos again. Then read the PDF again. Go and start the process and learn as you do it. I have no formal degrees or formal training in any kind of coding, in any kind of marketing, in any of this stuff. Okay, sometimes you just learn as you go. So I just want to encourage you guys. We're gonna bring out so much more. We're gonna do everything we can in our power to force you to be successful. But you do have to do something with it. You do have to take some action with it. You do have to understand this is the business model and here is what I'm going to do to get the success. You can do it in 30 minutes a day. You can do it very profitably. You can do it with almost no upfront costs. And you can do it without recruiting anybody. You have so much stacked in your favor. Why the hesitation, or why come up with one more reason for I'm not able to do it? And when you come across a genuine obstacle, let us know and we will help you and we will get you through it and we will work together on it. But I really want to make sure that you don't get off this call and say, oh, that was great. They're going to bring out the masterclass. I don't need to do anything now. I need you to understand that you have to apply yourself a little bit as well. And that's basically it. I don't want to beat on that a lot, and I don't want to make this sound like some motivational guru speech. I think most motivational stuff is kind of crap, so we'll ignore that. My point is simply we'll do everything we can. We listen to you guys. This is a living organization. We're constantly adapting and making sure that we can help you as much as we can, but make some effort. Communicate with us back. Tell us what you would like to see more of. We will bring more of that out for you, but also make an effort yourself. Achieve some success yourself. And I would be so excited to the next time that we ask this question, instead of 40% of the people saying I've made money, seeing 60% of the people saying, yes, I've been successful. That's really what our goal is, that every webinar we do, that every call we do, more and more number of our members are more and more successful. So I hope we have touched upon pretty much everything. Oh, and we have one more incredible person on here. We're just going to have you speak with Ken very quickly, or have Ken speak with you. And we're going to close out the webinar in about 5 more minutes at most. But I really want to introduce Ken very quickly. The voice you're going to hear is of Ken Eggleston, who has been one of the most established, well-respected people in both law enforcement and network marketing. Um, just a tremendous person in all different fields that I've known him in, and a tremendous friend at the same time. Um, and I just would love for him to give us a very quick introduction about him, what he sees happening here, and what he sees as the future, and what he sees you guys being able to achieve with what we have going on. So go right ahead, Ken.
Excellent. Hitesh, how do I come across? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you just fine.
Hitesh, are you able to hear? Okay, I was just having some reception issues on my side. But first of all, great webinar, enjoyed it greatly. And I think like everybody that's watching, this is such a new dynamic that's come together. I mean, this is my 20th year in the industry. And I remember when I got started back in the mid-90s, when I was a commander with one of the sheriff's departments down in South Florida, and ultimately retired there as a colonel. But at the same time, going through law school and jumping into this industry, and doing so because of the desire to make extra money. I had a special needs son, and really had to go ahead and figure out how is I going to make that extra money, and jumped into the industry and did exactly what you're talking about, Hitesh. Hard work. There is no simple path to financial freedom. What we have in front of us tonight, and what I'm looking at here, not only with DSD and then turning into INFINii, but what's been put together here, for people that maybe haven't been in the industry for a long time, folks, I can tell you that this is absolutely astonishing. I've sat on the executive board, both as vice president of sales, vice president of marketing, distributor support, and I've also been one of the top income earners within the industry, and have been blessed to have months over $200,000 a month in income earnings, and have been featured on different magazine covers within the industry. And I'm not saying that to impress you, I'm just saying it to let you know that didn't happen overnight. That took a lot of work and a lot of focus. And I entered coming from a law enforcement side, and law enforcement officers aren't exactly the best salespeople from our training background. But I wanted to learn how to do this industry, and I looked to the individuals within the industry that knew what they were doing, and quite honestly, it had all to do with recruiting. So I became a massive recruiter, and would end up sponsoring 200-300 people when I'd enter a new company. And but I was always able, when I was up on stage, and whether we're speaking about training, compensation plans, or anything, I would always look out on the audience and thousands of people, and I knew in my heart that what I was saying to them, and about have the dream, be focused, and in 2 to 5 years go sit on the beaches of the world, that 99% of the people in the audience would never achieve that. And I knew, because now I've been writing compensation plans for over 10 years, and I've had my own compensation planning consulting company for over 10 years, that when I run the numbers on companies and when I'm doing the plans, no matter how sexy we make them look, at the end of the day, the average company is only paying out 34 cents to maybe 40 cents on the dollar. And most people are never going to be able to achieve that financial freedom unless they're able to just be a super recruiter. And as I saw DSD launch, Hitesh, multiple years ago, and I watched the success stories of individuals who had never before been successful in any company. Matter of fact, I knew many of them never made more than $1,000 or $2,000 a month in a company, and suddenly I saw them earning a very heavy six-figure income, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 in a year from the e-commerce side. I kind of sat back and felt a little annoyed at myself, because there was a little bit of an arrogance on my side from the network marketing thing, saying, well, this eBay, Amazon thing, that's just people doing, going around to garage sales and everything else. And I never understood it until it smacked me in the face and said, okay, I guess there is a whole platform changing. I just turned 50, and you kind of have a wake-up call. And you got to ask yourself if you ever want, and those that I'm talking to in the industry here, you know what I'm talking about. I've built 6 different teams in this industry of over 40,000 people on each of those teams. Some were, higher end of 70,000, and a couple were down in the low 40s. But I've had to rebuild, and it always was dependent on different things. And the FDA came out and hit one of my nutritional companies when we lost to Fedra, and suddenly I lost $100 million in sales. But with this, what we have on our hands right now, Hitesh, and what the team has built is something that will, quite honestly, sweep the globe. It's going to change the face of network marketing, and the credibility of having Kevin Thompson on the legal side, myself, long-term in law enforcement, I deal obviously with the compliance side. We've built this thing, and you've spearheaded this process so that this is a 100% legitimate company. And being able to capture that e-commerce space, I just want to communicate to everybody here that's listening, to see what's been accomplished here in the last 3 or 4 weeks has been absolutely amazing. Now, at times, can we get frustrated because we're used to kind of like microwaves, everything being produced and coming out right away. But after 20 years in this industry, the challenges that we've had on some of the IT development side aren't really challenges. It's in fact the beta version of this going through, and all of the things or glitches that occur right now are designed to occur right now in this beta phase. That's why we refer to it as a beta pre-launch. Now everything, and when I look at the commission run that's coming up, all I can tell you is that each one of you right now has the opportunity to gain real estate, and there's only so much oceanfront real estate. It's an old saying, but once that oceanfront real estate is gone, it's hard to recapture it. So right now, those of you, and I'm watching the numbers come in, that are still introducing this to other people, you're going to have a team in the tens of thousands stretch around the globe. I watched Danny and Carla, and a lot of the other leaders on here like Alexi and Kenya and Jesse and others that are just doing a whole bunch of work and spreading the word. And then I see others that are kind of sitting here waiting to see if the system really is going to be what it looks like. And I'll tell you, folks, this is something you need to step off in faith with, because I'm behind the scenes. I see it all. This is not only going to be what it might appear to be, it's going to be so much more than that. So throw your chips on the table, get yourself in this game, and get motivated and take action right now, because if you delay, there are other people that aren't, and apply the effort, and let's get this thing going. Hitesh, I appreciate the opportunity to jump on.
Oh no, absolutely. Now that you have come on, I was like, oh, I don't want it to stop. Just keep going. But we do want to respect everybody's time. That was tremendous, Ken. Again, the experience, the value, the level-headedness, and all of the wonderful things that Ken brings to the table is really invaluable. But let's everybody has to make time for family. You guys need to go watch your prime trading videos and Surgeon Excel videos. You want to get your business going, get some listings going with the ALC hopefully, and at the same time maybe make some time for family and start treating this like a real business. So we do want to close out. We do want to wish all of you Merry Christmas and happy holidays, and all the different, I mean, we have so many people from all over the world. Whatever it is that appeals to you, I'm going to stick with Merry Christmas, because that's what we do. But overall, I hope that you all enjoyed this. I hope that you all are excited about what's coming. I hope most of all you are excited to be a part of something real, and to be able to build something for yourself, a business that is not dependent and doesn't live on somebody else and somebody else's recruitment abilities or anything like that. It depends on you and your effort and your wise decisions. So from all of us here, from John, Ken and I, Kevin, Jason, everybody else behind the scenes, we wish you all, Merry Christmas. Take this time, enjoy yourself. When we come back, we'll have the next call in the first week of January. We will announce that. We will start that out with many of these releases that we have talked about just now. We will start it out with that. We'll hopefully have a tremendous time with it, and I'm very excited to see where we end up.